5 p.m. on a weeknight and you just had a really grueling day at work. You were late to a meeting, your boss yelled at you, and now you're driving home in bumper-to-bumper traffic, just dying to get home, and you're about to implode with rage. But when you finally arrive there, you open the front door and find this little cutie running towards you, ears back and tail wagging. She's been waiting for this all day just for you to come home. You notice a wave of release and smiles just rushing over you, and you no longer feel the weight of the day. And after the two of you go for a long walk, you no longer feel the stress of today, and you get to go enjoy dinner with your family. That's one of the benefits of having a dog. Dog therapy has become a growing field over the last few decades. They assist people who are dealing with stress or anxiety and depression, and even in those who have more serious problems like PTSD or dementia or autism. I am a temporary dog sitter. I do it as a side job where I get to take care of other people's dogs for days at a time and treat them like they're my own. And it's really interesting how quickly they learn who their new caretaker is and who they should be relying on. The canine world has become a very important part of the human world. So today we're going to look at how that human and dog relationship formed, the biological factors that happen to help us relieve that stress, and an example of how it's being integrated into today's society. In 2013, Brian Hare and Vanessa Woods, both authors and canine researchers, wrote an opinion article for National Geographic titled, "We Didn't Domesticate the Dogs, They Domesticated Us." In this article, they discuss a common assumption that humans adopted some wolf pups and eventually found that they could hunt with them and they became domesticated that way, when it was actually a more likely occurrence that the dogs, the brave ones, would approach the humans, and any that showed aggression were fought off or killed, and the friendlier dogs would be tolerated and allowed to hang around the camp, and those eventually became survival of the friendliest, apparently. So over the years, the psychological changes continued, and it was found that dogs could actually recognize our gestures better than chimpanzees can, who we all know are our closest relative. So dogs could actually recognize when we would point to an object, or even some that were really in tune could follow just our eye direction. So it was factors like that that allowed them to hunt with us and be our guard dogs and pull sleds. Now that we learned about the human and dog past and how the bond developed, let's talk about the biological factors that actually scientifically explain how they are relieving our stress. So there's an article published in 2001 by 3 scientific researchers, Karen Allen, Barbara Shaikoff, and Joseph Izzo, titled "Pet Ownership But Not ACE Inhibitor Therapy, Blunts Home Blood Pressure Responses to Mental Stress." This was posted on the website Professional Heart Daily. So physical measures is one of the factors of measuring high blood pressure. Oxytocin is a very powerful hormone, and it's released when you're encountering social bonding. It's often called the love hormone or the cuddle hormone, and it's released when you're petting a dog or playing with a dog, and it's essentially lowering the stress hormone, cortisol. So in that article, they had a study where people with high blood pressure, known as hypertension, were given a common ACE inhibitor, which is a medication that's given, and along with owning a dog. And it was found in those people that they had lower mental stress. So now that we covered the biological factors, let's talk about a current way it's being used today. Jill Castellano is a journalist for Forbes magazine. In 2015, she wrote an article on Forbes.com titled "Pet Therapy is a Nearly Cost-Free Anxiety Reducer on College Campuses." It's very common that people will think that stress in college students comes from planning for their graduation or picking classes, when actually it's coming from outside factors like financial struggles or loneliness. So they actually have a dog that's kept on campus, and the students can come in and play with them, throw a ball with them, or if they just want to sit quietly with the dog and pet them, or they can express all their emotions to the dog and they're just there as the emotional support. So in the end, dogs have been found to be a very inexpensive form of therapy. So we covered how the human and dog bond began and the biological factors that's happening when we're interacting with the dog, as well as an example of how the dog therapy is growing and how it's used today. Lastly, I would like you to think about a dog in your life now or that you have known in the past. Think about what that dog did that made you laugh. Is simply thinking about the dog now making you smile, and how many things or even people are in your life now that have the capacity to do that. I'd like to end with a quote from Doris Day, a well-known actress from the 40s and also a continuing animal welfare activist. She said, "I have found that when you are deeply troubled, there are things you get from the silent, devoted companionship of a dog that you can get from no other source." Thank you.